Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Sunday. Yes, okay. All right, I'm ready. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Ask Dr. Lulu. How are we doing, everyone? I know it feels like it's been a while, right? I think the first weekend I wasn't here, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I did it from out of town, and then I had the Out of the Darkness walk. That was another thing. Yeah, that took me out. And then last Sunday, I was just completely not even able to speak at all. So I had to do a complete voice rest. So thank you guys for hanging out with me and always being faithful. Hi, my mom is already here. Hi, Mom. Hi, Elise. Of course. Yes, I'm sounding good. I'm thankful. No drama today, we're hoping. So for all of you who don't know me yet, my name is Dr. Lulu, if you're just meeting me for the first time. And every Sunday at 2 p.m., so help me God, Central Standard Time, we're going to be here on Ask Dr. Lulu. So I am a momatrician and a teen expert and a speaker, a public speaker, now a national keynote speaker. And I speak on all things that concern children, teenagers, young adults, especially where mental health is concerned, depression, suicide, all that good stuff that no one wants to talk about. And especially where it concerns the minorities. As one minority, whether you look at women or you're looking at LGBT, you're looking at veterans, you're looking at African Americans, you're looking at foreigners. I had my full regalia with my hijab look earlier today at mass, and I was working it because it was so cold, and I just totally enjoyed that look. I took some pictures earlier, so it's still me, but however you look at it, I am a minority no matter what. So I'm very happy, very pleased, very thankful to God who has placed this cross on my shoulders that I'll talk about things that no one generally wants to talk about. So today we're going to be talking about mass shootings, but really school shootings. It was supposed to be the opioid epidemic, and then we had that shooting, and then we had some more suicide in the meantime. So I'm going to talk about school shootings today. So if you're just meeting me for the first time, that's who I am. You're welcome. For those of you who already know me, please take a seat, do the usual, invite your friends. If you know anyone that should be listening to me, who's a teenager, who's a parent of a teenager, a school teacher, a counselor, a doctor, really pretty much anyone who handles children and teenagers and young adults, please invite them to join us today, and let's talk about mass shootings. Let's talk about school shootings, something really no one wants to talk about. So howdy, y'all. So what is the definition of a mass shooting? So when I was doing my little research, I found out that a mass shooting is defined as any incident, of course, concerning gunfire, where 4 or more people are injured or killed, excluding the shooter or shooters. So anytime we have 4 or more people who are injured, hurt, or killed as a result of a shooting, it is essentially, I guess in the American definition, a mass shooting. And according to CNN, there has been an average of 1 school shooting every single week this year. The year 2018, there has been at least 1 school shooting every single week so far this year. We're not even done with the year yet. And if you want to go with numbers, a total of 307 shootings in 2018 so far. That's including others, non-school, the bar and the church and the synagogue and all that. So I'm going to take a moment to say hello to everyone who's joined. There's Marty Fail, my patient. Hi, Marty. Thank you so much for posting that thing about vaccines this morning. That was awesome. Then there's my mom. There's Dee Winters. There's Boone Me. There's Deidre Gator. Hi, Dee Dee. There's Alera Simene. That's my girl from way back. I love the hearts. I love the loves. I love the thumbs up. So please hook me up. There's Bing Pays watching. Miss B. Michelle has joined the building. There's Miss Agneta Okibedi is in the building. Barbara Mix also. And yes, and I am saying to you, thank you to everyone who's been watching my videos, everyone who's been following me. This has just been so exciting. You know, you never know what God has in store for you. You take a leap of faith. You do things that no one wants to do. You quit your job, your $200,000 job to talk for a living. And it's like, what? Have you lost your mind? And then boom, things start happening. Things that are meant to happen. And so I'm really thankful for this. Let's get straight to the point. So if you're just joining us, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about school shootings because, you know, they're children, right? And I'm a pediatrician, right? So why not? So the earliest school shooting was actually in 1764. I had no idea that that was the earliest school shooting. That happened in the United States of A. The earliest school shooting was in 1764, and in that particular incident called a massacre, 10 of the 13 children enrolled in that school were all killed. So this is not something that is new, is what I'm trying to say. However, maybe because of the media, maybe because of the, I don't know, technology, everything is, you get all the information very fast now. Yeah, hi everyone. You know, you hear about it as soon as it happens. So apparently the very first school shooting happened in 1764. Not good, not good. So these seemingly senseless killings of innocent people, who does this? Why do they do this? What can we do about it? That's what we're going to talk about today, part one, okay? So the notable ones in recent memory, of course, were Columbine. As a matter of fact, my neighbor across the street, their daughter was actually killed in the mass shooting in, I think it was in, wherever it happened in the movie theater. My neighbor across the street, his daughter was involved. Not in Columbine, but his daughter was involved. Just so you know, she was killed in the one at the movie. So you never know who you might know who's been touched by this brutal senselessness that's becoming almost like a daily thing for us now, okay? Hi, Sita. Hi, Jose Armando Garcia. Wow. No kidding. And of course, there's Gracienne Jean-Pierre. Gracienne Jean-Pierre has joined the building. Bienvenue, bienvenue. Thank you guys so much for coming. So we're going to talk about, so notable ones continue. So Columbine was one. Sandy Hook Elementary was a pretty bad one because that was an elementary school. Then there's Marysville Pilchuck High School, and of course, most recently notable is Douglas Parkland High School, the one in Parkland High School in Florida. So many, too many to remember. But apparently, did you know that if you attend school in the United States of A, you are 13 times more likely to be killed by gunfire? Somebody write 13 times for me. What's going on? You know, 13 times. You're 13 times more likely to be killed in the US of A than in the Scandinavian countries if you attend school by gunfire. 13, the bad number, right? Somebody write 13 for me, please. Okay. And then, so why does it happen? You want to know, right? And who does this? These are normal people like you and I, people with love around them. We're going to talk about who they are in a minute. And you might be surprised. I know earlier today I had put in a video on my pages. I think it was an article, but there was a video attached to it of a kid that was a school shooter who got 210 years, basically life imprisonment. So hopefully you guys were able to read that article. That was a nice segue to today's talk. So who does this? So when I looked at the numbers, I was very surprised, not too surprised to see that 76% were Caucasians, because that's usually who you hear about. But I was surprised to hear that 12% of school shooters or mass shooters are African Americans, 12%. So we're not by any, yeah, we are minority, of course, but we're not by any means out of the loop. And between 2 to 8% of the others are shared by Hispanics and Asians and other races. So we are all represented is what I'm trying to say, okay? So most of these shooters are lonely and angry. Of course, some of them are not alone, but they're lonely. So you can be alone, but not lonely. But these guys are actually lonely and angry. Why? Why? Most of them leave messages. Some of them leave messages on social media. People actually know these people. The child that was featured in the article actually asked 2 other 14-year-old kids to show him how to load the pistol. He had no idea how to even load it. he was helped by 2 other 14-year-old kids. If you're just joining us, Linda Bromskin, the wife now, is in the building. Hi, sweetie. Ibiwari, Blessing is here. Linda Wilson, Valentine Ezenibia, that's my cousin. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about school shootings today. So 78% of these students or these people that commit these crimes have mental illnesses, have mental health problems. However, 78% is not 100%. So that tells you that there are some other people who commit these crimes who are not suffering from mental health. Now, of course, mental health is a big thing now. That's the reason I'm even doing this now. However, it's not only mental health people. Marty has a question. What is the socioeconomic status of most of these shooters? I'm going to come to that. Very good question. Thank you. Great question. Great question, Marty. We're going to come to that. So 78% of these people have mental health. Some of them have suicidal ideations. Some of them have suicidal thoughts. But some of them are also just normal people like you and I. Totally unprovoked, okay? 87% of the victims of them are victims of bullying. I want you to read that article on my page because this kiddo, in his own words, he said he wanted to do it so that people would leave him alone. He was spat on, he was kicked, he was bullied, he was called names. He just wanted it to stop. He just wanted the pain to stop. And so really this talk is about bullying again. You know, as you guys know, I'm trying to start a global stop the bullying, hashtag stop the bullying campaign. I know it's not new, but I want to take it on because I feel like a lot of my patients who are suffering, who are in pain, have been bullied. As you all know, I was bullied, but it's not about me anymore. A lot of these children were bullied, and most of them mentioned on their social media pages that they were bullied and they want to be left alone. This kid actually said he would have killed all those kids who bullied him if he had been given a chance. His own words. That is the amount of pain that this kid was. Needless to say, he was a child of the system. His father was in jail, I think, at the age of 2. His mother was a druggie, in his own words. He was left to kind of raise himself. He was in and out of foster homes and the system. Eventually, he got to an aunt who was good to him, in his own words. But guess what? He found the gun on the shelf in her house. We're going to come to that later. So if you're just joining us for the first time, we're talking about school shootings, the who, the why, the what can we do about it, okay? So 23% of these children come from normal homes. 23% of these children come from normal homes with 2 parents who go to work like you and I, who are doing the best to try to raise their kids right. Yes, 23%, that's about a quarter of them, okay? They're not all from the system. They're not all from the system, okay? Of course, the rest of them are from broken homes, but yes, it's not about that. It's about the fact that we're all contributing. Even those of us like me who work every day, who try to do their best every day, our children still do these things, still commit these heinous crimes. So this child said, he hated 2 or 3 of the boys that used to bully him. He hated them and wanted them dead. But he ended up shooting into a crowd and he ended up killing, in his own words, he killed Josh. Josh was a kid that didn't even do anything to me. He had nothing against Josh. So even innocent bystanders are also the who, right? They're also involved in the who. And as you can imagine, Sandy Hook Elementary School, an elementary school that had nothing to do with a kid from their own school. It was just someone just randomly came into the school and did his thing. So yes, not all of them are students of the school. Now, of course, you want to know why. I wanted to know why. I'm doing this talk because I wanted to know, why are these things happening? Why are these things happening? And just so you know, yes, I am anti-guns, but it's not an anti-gun talk, because in my research, I found out that yes, ultimately, the weapon that is used for committing the crimes mostly have been guns, but it's not an anti-gun talk as much as I am anti-guns. It's about the who, the why, and what can we do about it, okay? You'll be surprised how much responsibility you actually bear in this. You who doesn't have a gun like me, you who's anti-gun like me, you who is a good mother, a good parent like me. You'll be surprised at how much influence you have in the school shootings, okay? So number 1, why is bullying? these kids, most of them have been bullied. Yes, I am first to say I was bullied. I did not go get a gun and kill my perpetrators, but I'm not everyone. That's to tell you that you never know who can do what. So do not bully, period, right? Both cyberbullying and regular bullying, verbal bullying, all of those kinds of bullying are across the board responsible. Most of these children who go up and shoot up a school, go up and shoot up a place, if you ask them, they would tell you that they were hurting. It was from a place of pain. And then you put the wrong weapon in their hands and it's all over. Stop the bullying. Please, somebody write my hashtag, my brand new hashtag, hashtag stop the bullying. Somebody please write it down for me. Hashtag stop the bullying. Hashtag stop the cyberbullying. Hashtag stop being a bystander. Everybody knows me already. I say every time that I get a chance, 70% of you and I, 70% of you and I are bystanders while these things are going on. 15% are bullies. The other 15% are bullied. But 70%, you and I, are all bystanders while this is going on. So stop the bystanders thing already, okay? Mental health, yes. Again, this is not about mental health per se. The truth is, we already talked about the numbers. 78% of these people do have mental health issues, but it's not only those people that have mental health issues that do this. A lot of normal people also engage in these senseless killing of innocent people, okay? The personality has been described as narcissistic for some of them. They've been bipolar for some of them. They have a split personality disorder. Some of them have that. Some of them have depression. A lot of the kids who are depressed are lonely and hurting and have nowhere to go. Yes, I'm not condoning never going to shoot, but the truth is we have failed them. We have failed to be a listening ear. We have failed to say, I'm so sorry you're going through this. We have failed to hide our guns. We have failed to keep our guns stored in a locked place and of course separate from the ammunition. We have also failed to do that. So we are all equally responsible. I want us to start talking about school shooting, not just sending thoughts and prayers. Oh my goodness, another one. Imagine 307. Can someone please write 307? 307 shootings so far already as per CNN in the year 2018. That's almost one every day of mass shootings. It's almost becoming commonplace. I'm hoping that we can stop it already before it becomes commonplace. So few of these patients who have mental illnesses, as you and I know, very few of them are diagnosed. Even fewer of them are treated. And for most who are treated, as you all know, some of them don't take their medication. So we have so many levels here. If you want to hold on to mental health as the problem, they don't get diagnosed, they don't get treated, and if they get treated, they don't even take their medication. So where can we start? Where can we start? You as adults who have mental health issues, how many of you can get access to medical care? How many of you who do get access even accept the diagnosis? My first suicide, as you all know, when I was in Lancaster, South Carolina as a pediatrician, was a patient who I diagnosed with depression. He never got any help because his mom, first of all, didn't believe that it was going to ever deteriorate to something worse. She was like, I did okay, but he took his own life because of that. I will never get over that. Okay? Substance abuse, yes. Most of these people who commit these crimes are high. Most of them have drugged themselves, maybe so that they don't feel the pain. I don't know the reason, but a lot of them have abused substances in their past, in their history. A lot of them have a history of substance abuse. A lot of them come from dysfunctional homes. And I know when I say dysfunctional homes, you're like, dysfunctional homes, what do you mean? My home is fine. Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure. You might model the behavior without knowing. I always tell you, your life is the mirror through which your children look at life. Your lives are the windows through which your kids look at life. So if you're not careful with how you're living your life, you might inadvertently, is that the word? Inadvertently model this behavior of either abuse in the home, yes, either abusing the kids, being abused, maybe spousal abuse, maybe violence of some sort. The kids are watching. Yes, they are. Absolutely. So be very careful. A lot of those kids, I think 98% of them obviously have poor coping skills, right? They're not able to handle this stress, this major stress of every single day they're going to school and somebody's going to pick up on them because of the way they dress, because of the way they look, because of the way they sound, because of the color of their hair, because of the color of their eyes. They'll find something. Did you know that there was a girl who committed suicide recently who had had brain cancer and had the scars from her brain surgery, and the kids mocked her? She had some facial palsy. People mocked her because of that. Imagine surviving brain cancer and having to deal with that kind of thing. Y'all, please talk to your children. Find out if your kids are being bullied. Find out if your kids are bullies. Find out if your kids are bystanders when bullying is going on. Engage in the speech. Talk to them about it. Get to the bottom of this. The more we start talking about it, the better, right? 61% of these children who go and shoot up the schools are going out for vengeance. Why would they want to be vengeful? Because somebody has done stuff to them, because they feel like you and I have watched why this has been going on. Nobody's saying anything to them. Well, it's not my child. Well, it's not my kid. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as it's not my kid. You know what happened about a week or so ago? One of my son's playmates came to play with him, and my son said, no, I can't really play right now because I want to do homework. And the little kid said, well, if you don't come to play basketball with me, then you're gay. Then I heard that. Oh, honey, I didn't take off my earrings, but I went out and I said, son, come. What did you just say? What did you just say? Because it takes a village. I cannot hear that kind of thing. Yes, of course, it was said to my son, but it doesn't matter. I cannot hear that kind of thing from another child, another person's child, and say nothing. I called him. I said, let's talk about this. We had a good talk. In the end, I made him tie his shoelaces and sent him on his merry way. And the next day I saw him. He said, hi, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. I said, yes. Have you been good today? He said, yes. I said, tell me the good thing you did today. Because I challenged him to go out and never say that again and always do good. And he told me the good thing he did today, that day. And then that was it. You know, the point I'm trying to make is don't just walk by. Don't just say, well, it's not my kid. Or it doesn't really matter. Oh, he's white. Oh, he's black. Oh, he deserves it. Or whatever. It's always something. You know what the beauty of us all is? Our differences. Look at one hand. Look at the fingers. Are they all the same? The beauty of human race is our differences. So let's celebrate those differences. We're more closer alike than we are different. Is that the phrase? Whatever that phrase is. Somebody write it down for me, okay? So please, y'all, when you see these things happening, don't say it's not my kid. Say something. I don't know that his parents have not said stuff that they needed to say to him. I don't know that that's that one hair that's aggravating. But I took it upon myself that day to also add to his parents' voices. We all have to raise these kids. It takes a whole entire town, a whole entire school, a whole village to raise one little child. But guess what? Every time he sees me now, he runs up to me and says, hi, ma'am. And then he tells me the good thing he did that day. You know, it was a little thing. You know what Tupac Shakur said? He said, I might not change the world, but I'll surely light the spark. I want you all to go there and light the spark, okay? So, yeah, so basically 1 out of 10 of those youth who are involved in these shootings have, as you know, mental health history, but a lot of them are in the system. A lot of them have come out of the system. You know, that little boy, he said, the little boy that was in the article, he said that one of his foster homes, the dad used to make him stretch his hand out and he would just whoop him. And he would make the other kids in the home go wake him up and just tout at him and just pull at his nose and just spit at him and just maltreat him. If you're not cut out to be a foster parent, please don't do that. Don't take a child who's already from a broken past and then break him that much more. That is not good. That is so bad, you know? So, of course, easy access to guns. Another reason why children are getting guns is the guns are right there. They can see the guns. When my kids were young, we never played pow-pow games. We just didn't. It was my decision. I chose to raise them that way. We had no toy guns in the house. We had no plastic guns. Yes, I was a bit extreme. Call it that, but that's okay. That was my way to raise my own children. The point is, they had no access to guns. The little boy picked up the gun. He had never shot one before, never fired one until that day, that fateful day in school. And according to him, he got dressed that morning, brushed his teeth, dressed up, put the gun in his pants or whatever, got in the school bus, had small talk. As soon as he got to school, he just opened fire into a crowd. First time ever, you know? But he did have easy access to the gun. That's where I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to keep your gun, keep your gun. But please learn about gun safety around children. As you all know, 1 out of 4 children, 1 out of 4 homes that has a gun is going to have fatal injury from one of the people in that home. Look up the numbers yourself because of that gun. If you're getting robbed at Walmart, your gun is at home. Yes? Okay, if you're getting robbed at the Riverwalk in San Antonio, your gun is at home. So the point I'm making is while your gun is at home and you're not there, your kids find your gun. They will. So easy access to the guns is a big problem. If you're going to store your gun, please store your gun. First of all, make sure it's empty and store it separately from the ammunition. And please lock your safes and swallow the key if you have to, but just don't keep the key where they can find it. Okay? Video games. The gentleman, the little boy, he said that he had watched a lot of video games, and you know what he said? That was so cute. He said, in the video games, you have to be shot multiple times before you die. In his mind, he didn't think shooting the kids once or twice was going to kill them. And even Josh, the kid that he ended up killing, he said to him, why did you kill me? Why did you shoot me? Josh asked him that. He had no answers for Josh. Video games. My kids will be the first to tell you, I hate video games. I loathe them. The little boy said he didn't realize that shooting the kids once or twice was going to kill them, because in the video games, you have to be shot multiple times, and sometimes they don't even die. So he kind of lost. That tells you the kind of mindset he had. He had lost any sense of reality. That came from a very dark, deep place. His pain from being bullied on every single day. From the age of 6 till I was 8, I was bullied on the school bus in the Air Force Base in Kaduna. They used to sing for me every day. I did nothing but be an officer's kid. That was my crime. And you know what? No one ever tried to help. No one. Once in a while, one girl would try to help and they would hush her down. Do you know how the terrible feeling that is for me to get on the school bus every single day? But you know how I got even? I got good at school, and I scaled and I aced and I got a scholarship, and then I'm here. And you know what? I bet you all those my bullies, they are up to no good at this point. With Nigeria, they say you should pray for your enemies to live long so they can see how you prosper in the future. That was my prayer. You know, I'm not the kind of person that takes a gun to go and shoot, but can you imagine going to school for years and every single day somebody's teasing you in the school bus on the way to school and on the way back? Can you imagine that? What kind of world are we leaving for these kids? What kind of world are we leaving for these kids? Schools, yes, the schools have their own role that they play in this mass shooting. Excuse me. The schools have their own roles that they play. My little cheat sheet is trying to play tricks on me today. The schools have their own roles. First of all, the schools have they're inadequately staffed. They don't have enough counselors. That's for sure. You and I know that they don't have enough. They're not even authorized to do like real mental health counseling for these kids that do have mental health. They don't have any malpractice coverage for that. As you and I know, they lack all kinds of funding, you know. So the schools are not helping in that sense. And most of the schools, I know they prepare them for active shooter, but it's not the same. You know, these things are not planned. So no matter how much you try to prepare yourself, when it happens, it's still a surprise. Most of these things you're not ready for. You don't even know it's going to happen. So when it happens, you're ill-prepared, no matter how prepared you are for a fire. When a fire happens, you're still not prepared. Does that make sense? Yeah, so in a sense, maybe I wouldn't say it's the school's fault, but I just have to mention that that is the role that the school is playing. After the fact, they start kind of getting ready and gearing up and all that, but it's already happened. It's already happened. Parents, you're not exempt, okay? You need to know the signs of depression, the signs that your child is being bullied. Watch some of my old videos. I have signs everywhere. You look it up. You Googled everything else. Google the signs of depression. Google the signs that my child is being bullied. You know? We have a few new people. Let me see. Oh, my bad. Where are my manners? Felicia Arrington. Hi, girl. Tiana Alexander, Bradley Benjamin, Natalie Noel, Carla McEwen. Hi, girl. Amal me. Wow, that's good. Nadine White Underwood in the building. Vanessa Mora. Thank you guys for joining. Please share this video if it makes any kind of sense to you. Share these videos. So parents, please, please, please try your best to recognize the signs. And if your child is diagnosed with depression or anxiety or personality disorder, please don't be in denial. Accept the diagnosis already. If it was diabetes or asthma, you wouldn't say the doctor said, my son got diabetes. No, you'll be like, oh, my son is diagnosed with diabetes. What do we do about it? You don't say, well, they say he has depression. They say he got bipolar personality. That's not in my race. That's not in my tribe. Who told you that? It's an equal opportunity. Plus, you know, drop that word mental. Just call it health. It's a health problem. Your brain, your noggin is sick. Take care of it. It's the most important part of your body. Oh, and just so you know, the media, you're not exempt from this. When you keep playing the videos over and over again, you know, and then you focus on the killers. You focus on every little thing that the killer ever did or didn't do, forgetting that this whole system failed that one individual. You focus too much on the killer. The truth is, before it happened, he or she was not a killer. The system that raised him, the system that made him is what you should focus on, not just him. You focus too much on the killer, and then the video is played over and over again. This is why I don't watch the news. I do not watch the news. There's nothing good. Bad news is all the news you ever see. That's what Heavy D said. I don't watch the news because you just repeat the news over and over again. And then you talk about everything about the killer. What about the system that failed the killer? What about the system that raised the killer? You're not exempt. Oh, the government. Gun laws. 1 minute you're sending your thoughts and prayers, government. The next minute you're either loosening the gun laws on one end, tightening the gun laws on the other. Make up your mind already. You want to arm the teachers, you don't want to arm the teachers. So let's all just up in arms. I have a story for you, government. Call Australia. Ask them what happened in 1986, I believe, and in 2003. 1996 and 2003. Somebody please type in 1996 and 2003, and somebody please write down Australia. You know what Australia, the whole country of Australia did? They bought back the guns from the people. They bought back, they had a buy back your gun and destroy program that was massively, massively successful. And to this date, since the buyback, not one single mass shooting in Australia. Look it up. I'm not making anything up, y'all. Look up the numbers. They're right there for you. They bought back their guns, but because of all those interests here and interests there and all kinds of hidden agendas and all that goodness, that's why we're here today. Yes, of course, the gun laying on the table is not going to shoot somebody, yes. Pero the people that hold the guns, this is what we're talking about. Who? The person behind that little trigger. Trigger, is that what it's called? Whatever, yeah, the trigger. And so, parents, I'm a parent, so naturally I'm going to go back to you all. I'm going to go back to you all. And I love you guys to pieces, but I'm going to go back to you all. Please, you are the first teachers of your children. You are the first people that these kids know. And so I beg you, if your take-home message today is just go and lock up your gun right now. Go and lock up your gun. You can teach your child about gun safety if you like, but the truth is 1 out of 4 homes that have a gun is going to have a fatal incident from that gun on a member of that home. Look up the numbers. Parents, when your doctor tells you that your child has a personality disorder or some kind of depression, believe it. Teenagers, kids, if you're hurting, reach out to someone. Call somebody. Call me. Go to my website, teenalive.com. Find someone you trust. Talk to somebody. You're not alone. There's help out there. Depression kills, but it's treatable. Help yourself. Okay? I think that's all I had today. So I'm just going to do a quick recap. So the government, you had your own share. The media, you had your own share. The schools, you have your own share. The parents, you have your own share. The kids, you have your own share. The whole community, the whole village that, oh God, I love those hearts. The whole village that it takes to raise the child, you have your own share. And so we're going to talk about what we can do about it next week for part 2. So today was school shootings, part 1, who, why, and what. And so next week we'll talk about what can we do about this. Thank you all so much for always joining me on Sundays at 2 p.m. Sorry if today's own lasted a little long, but you know, I can't cut it short. I only have 35 minutes of your time in this week, so I'll take it, right? So please find me on all social media platforms, on this Facebook, as myself and as Dr. Lulu, and I also have a page called Teen Alive. Please join. On, I think, Instagram, Twitter, you know, everywhere, LinkedIn, there's so many. But I just remain faithfully yours truly, okay? I'm a momatrician, I'm a public speaker on all things teenagers and the things that affect us, because, you know, if it affects my child, it affects me. So go out there and be a better person today than you were yesterday, okay? And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace still, always and forever. Yours truly. Bye.